Yo, Black News Network. As many of you all know, Young Thug's trial is coming up. We're going to be covering this extensively, just like we covered the Tory Lanez conviction and upcoming sentencing, which will be at the end of January. So, if you don't know, Young Thug was recently arrested in May 2022. He was hit with a multitude of RICO charges, state RICO charges from the state of Georgia. He and about 28 other people were charged in a 95-page indictment and are now to stand trial. Now, many of those 28 have taken plea deals and have agreed to testify against Young Thug and the other remaining defendants. So today we want to just cover a few different things of what's going on. So currently, right now, Young Thug has not been allowed bail since May 2022. So he's been in jail since May, and now it is January 2023. There have been no continuances in the trial dates, and it looks like they're going to go forward. So now they're going through Voir Dire, which means they're selecting a jury. So I don't. There's not a lot of insight on whether everyone's getting tried separately or everybody's going to get tried at the same time. So I don't know if it's going to be one jury or multiple. I will say from the outset, just my opinion. I think it's in Fulton County. I believe there are going to be quite a number of people that look like Young Thug on the jury, and with that being said, that could lead to problems for the prosecution in as far as conviction goes. No matter what the allegations are, you'd be surprised how many people are out there saying, they support an alleged violent person. So I wouldn't call this case a slam dunk whatsoever. But right now we're going to go over the charges that are currently against him and what is to come. All right. So what is to come after they find the jury? They'll have opening statements. They'll have witnesses, and they say this trial could take up to months. By the way, so just letting everyone know it could take up to a month, 2 months for everything to get done. They anticipate quite a number of witnesses. There's 65 counts in this indictment, so they really think it's going to take quite some time. All right, so out of all of the defendants, Young Thug is charged with 8 different counts. All right, so 8 different counts of RICO charges. They've added some, but right now they are currently at that particular number. As people know, Gunna, Sergio Kitchens, had also was also arrested, but he has already pleaded out of this. He will not appear at the trial. He is part of his agreement is that he will not testify against Young Thug, but you know, some of the other defendants have said that they will. If you've noticed some social media stuff before, has Young Thug being exasperated when he finds out some people are going to be testifying against him. One of the reasons why he has not gotten out of jail is because of a threat that he apparently made. How can I say? A few years ago, basically saying if anyone went to the courtroom, they would no longer be with us. If that makes any sense. So that's one of the reasons why he was denied bail and is currently standing trial. Okay. I want to make sure I give you the right information. And I do anticipate some of these charges to be thrown out sooner or later because it just does not make any sense. All right, so Young Thug is charged with conspiracy to violate the racketeer influence and corrupt organizations. That's the RICO. He's also charged with participation in criminal street activity. He is also charged with possession of marijuana with intent to distribute. He's also charged with possession of codeine with intent to distribute. He is also charged with possession of cocaine and also possession of a weapon and an additional possession of a weapon. If he is convicted, he will be facing up to 20 years. Very similar to Tory's sentencing. Now, like I said, in review of these charges, you're going to need witnesses, and they have some of his co-defendants that will testify against him. That's going to be a watershed day. We plan on covering that as well, using every resource that we have to see that. I will say the district attorney in Georgia is not playing. I think this is going to be a very fierce trial going back and forth. It's something to tune into. And I don't see this as a slam dunk for all of the cases. Some of the charges to me seem vague, but that's the problem. With RICO, it doesn't have to be specific. So those are the most dangerous stuff. You know, the possession of codeine, yeah. The possession of cocaine, yeah. That's, if you got it, that's you. But that's not the big stuff. The big stuff that we're talking about that puts you over 20 years and gets you off the street is the RICO stuff. So that's the stuff that they're going to be fighting against. And it's going to be really hard when people have testified that, yeah, this was an enterprise, a criminal enterprise that was founded by him and some other people. We actually did X, Y, Z, and this is what the person did. And then that's when the state fills in with other evidence that they have, whether, you know, with phone records, with other testimony, other witnesses, documents, rental car receipts, because as we know, some of the acts were taken out, were done using a rental car. So this is going to be all important for the defense. They have to get just a few jurors to say, I don't believe beyond a reasonable doubt. That's their big thing. So they're going to have to get in position to refute that. I think Young Thug's best path forward is getting on the witness stand. The problem is, I don't think he's going to do that based on just the street codes in the black community. I just don't see him taking the stand. I just don't see it. But I think that would be very, very unique. He could definitely plead the fifth if he wants on a few of those. I mean, he's fighting for his freedom, but he could plead the fifth if he says that might be that's something he could be charged with, but they haven't charged him with it currently. That doesn't really affect his reasonable doubt. If he wants to get on the stand and say, I didn't do these things, and your whole entire goal is just to be believable to one or two jurors, it's worth considering. But I don't think he's going to do it. So the biggest thing they have to do is discredit the witnesses, and that means discredit the people that are testifying against him, meaning his own cohorts in the criminal enterprise. So they're going to have to bring up evidence, bring up their past, and lay it all out and take their time. This is not going to be a fast trial. This is stuff they got to win day after day after day, and to show up each and every day to see what's going to happen and occur and be their best, and to just be noticeably disagreeing with anybody that the state brings up there. So it's going to be an interesting trial. Again, we're going to be covering it, you know, from right now, which is jury selection, all the way to closing, all the way to the verdict. We're going to give it to you as fast as we can get it and disseminate it. Please subscribe to our channel. We're going to have some legal analysis on the best witnesses, worst witnesses, best pieces of evidence, and whether Young Thug takes the stand to defend in his trial. Y'all let me know what y'all think, and talk to y'all soon. Black News Network.